John, first of all, just give us a little bit of an idea of where you're up to fitness-wise of players from over the weekend, because it was a good game, but not without cost.
No, Manny obviously went off within 5 minutes, which obviously is disappointing because he had all the tests, so he did everything possible, thought everything was okay, and he still managed to break down. So he again looks as though it's going to be long term. So we're just going to have to be really careful with him. Not that we weren't in the first place, because obviously he was out for a very long time. So obviously disappointed with that. Monty's on the mend, and Reece Brown, Mark Collins shouldn't be too far away. So we have got people coming back. I think it's just obviously Tom's longer term, and Callum Evans. Everybody else is available for selection.
With reference to Manny, obviously it must be really concerning and disappointing for you, given, as you say, the work that you put in to get him fit and him going off to St George's Park, and then within 5 minutes to see all that undone.
Yeah, because he's had all the scans, everything looked fine. He trained and then played in the Macclesfield game, done 20 minutes there, and then to break down after, say, I think it was only 5 minutes when he pulled up, because that could have happened in training. So it wasn't as though he was flat out when he was running. So obviously it's a big concern for us, because he can, you were thinking at the start of the season he's going to be one of our major players.
Are you slightly concerned that this is something that might not get fixed full stop when it's a hamstring particularly?
Well, the scans come back, and we don't think he's going to. Well, he isn't going to need an operation, and it's something that should heal. It's going to take time to heal, but obviously it's a big concern, and obviously it's a big concern for Manny.
With reference to the rest of the squad, though, it kind of shows what you were talking about in the summer about trying to get players in to cover these things, because first 2 months in you've had 6 or 7 injuries, but you have had players step up to replace those who've been out. Yeah,
and everybody who's come in has done well. Obviously Scott Burgess on Saturday, Manny goes off and Scott comes on and scores within 10 minutes of coming on. So it's up to players to take the opportunity and show what they can do. I've got belief in the players that are brought in, and at the moment they're showing good signs.
When it comes to your defending, I know you were disappointed with the goal in the last few minutes or so. So what's the plan now then? What could people expect to see you work on with the players over the next few weeks to try and address that?
I think the goals that we conceded, there's 1 or 2 individual mistakes that players have got to cut out themselves. One of the things, obviously, what we're looking at is, first half, we didn't give them a minute. We looked really good first half. Second half, we allowed them to get too much time on the ball. So that's one of the areas that we've got to work on. Why is that happening? We spent a lot of time yesterday looking at the video from Saturday and what the differences were. And, we've got to keep pressing teams and keep putting teams under the cosh, because when we do that, we look a good team. When we sit off people, that invites pressure, and as we saw on Saturday, you invite pressure, and eventually, it tells with opposition. But the main thing is individuals to cut out the mistakes they're making.
Are you a transitional team at the moment, going from where you were last year, bringing in lots of new players to getting where you're up to now? Is it fair to say things are in the process of changing rather than being the finished article?
We're hoping that that's the case, that we keep improving. The signs are there, and we're starting to score goals, and 8 goals in the last 3 games, so we're starting to score. But it's sod's law, isn't it? You start scoring at one end and you start laying them in at the other. Obviously, we've got to get a good balance. We just, as I say, we've played some good football at times this season. We've just got to be a little bit more ruthless, really, because even on Saturday, if we could have got that extra goal, got 2 goals in front, which we've not done this season, then it takes the pressure off, and then we start getting the results.
You brought Tom Pope back in for the last couple of games. It's quite a big decision to leave out your top scorer as well, when Richie Bennett's obviously scored at Macclesfield, and Did you feel that Tom just adds something a bit different?
Yeah, I thought the game at home against Mansfield, bringing Tom back, I think it was for his 500th game, that give him a lift, and I thought he did well against Mansfield, and then on the back of that, because Richie had not done so well in the previous game, kept Tom in to the Orient game, and again Tom worked really hard and caused Orient problems without scoring himself, but we have got the option now. Obviously Richie's got 4 goals, so it just gives the option again to with Richie, Popey, Mark when he's fit, and obviously Jordan now coming back to fitness.
Having 4 strikers is something that you wanted presumably at the start of the season.
Yeah, we said all along that we're trying to get competition in every place, every position, and it gives us an option to play different ways as well. As we saw when we played Maxfield, we played with a diamond, played something a little bit different, and that worked quite well for us. Whether it'll work when we play in a what you call a proper game, but it does give us options.
I just mentioned as well, I saw a stat about David Worrell this week about key passes and things and such, and he's at the top of that table. When you've got a player like that in your side who you can kind of rely on, who's got lots of energy, is it tempting to try and play him in every game, or do you have to manage him because he's that energetic and he keeps running around and he might end up injured?
Yeah, no, he's pretty robust, touch wood, and he started the season off really well, and he's key to us really in some ways, because he's the one who gets us pressing high up the pitch, and his energy, and since I've come in he's done really well, and I think if he could add 1 or 2 goals to his game, that's one area obviously he's looking to improve on, but apart from that he's done really well.
And just finally then, I think about quarter of the season gone, isn't it, with Saturday on the way. Are you roughly where you expected to be and performed how you expected to be given the stage of the season?
To be honest, you start the season off and you don't know. You look at the games and goals that we conceded late on, Salford and Saturday. Extra 4 points would have put us where we would have liked to have been. Again, we've got a home game coming up. That if we win that, then it puts us in a reasonable position. At the moment, it's it can go one way or the other. At the moment, we're hoping it's we're going to be looking up the table, trying to get into the playoff position. Could have been better, but as you said, we have improved.